even relationships. But when you look at all forms of people activity, all roads lead back to race. When you look at labor, employment, that has race dominating it. Black people are usually excluded from different labor unions. Black people are usually excluded from certain job markets. Race is a dominating factor. When you look at law, you see laws that disproportionately target black people. When you look at education, you see laws and gentrification of black schools based on race. Even sports. And look, we look at the football games back in the States from over here. We see how them white supremacists be in the stands throwing bananas at black folks and calling them all types of names. So race is the common denominator in all forms of people activity. Now when you say this, some black people don't like talking about race. Some black people will be like, well, no, it's not race, Tariq, it's not race. What about black on black crime? They got a coon train out here too.
Yes. Yes.
And I say to people, okay, if it's not about race, then what is it? What do you like to talk about? What do you think the problem is? And they'll say, black people will say, well, the problem with the black community, we just have a lack of education. Okay, well, let's peel that back. Okay, so why are we less educated? Well, because we don't go to good schools. So why don't we go to good schools? Because the school's in black neighborhood. So why are the schools in the black neighborhood and restaurants in the black neighborhood? Well, the schools are bad, they get underfunded. So why they get underfunded? You know, racism. Well, we are talking about racism. All roads keep going back to race. And whenever people use the argument, well, the black community, and we see this a lot in the United States, they have places like Fox News and all of these so-called conservative news channels that sit up and talk about, well, the black community's problem is single mothers, and the black community's problem is drugs, and the problem with the black community. So they keep talking about the problem with the black community, but that narrative is fundamentally flawed because there should not be a black community. There should just be a community. The reason why there is a black community is because there is a white community. There is a white community because of white supremacy. Because the white community, they deliberately exclude other people from penetrating their community, and they keep all the wealth and the resources within those dominant white communities. So this is where racism is codified. And the thing is, another trick is that the white supremacists, they will try to get us to deflect from white supremacy. Because when Hidden Colors 3 came out, it was very popular in the United States, and a lot of people were talking about it, and there were a lot of articles, and so-called liberal white supremacists would hit me up and say, well, Tariq, I like your stuff, but it's not really white supremacy, Tariq. It's the elitist. Those are the problem. It's the Jews. They're the problem. It's the Illuminati. They're the problem, Tariq. There's a white dude over here named David Icke. Y'all heard of him?
Yeah.
He's talking about it's the reptiles that's running everything. Really? I ain't never seen a reptile shoot brothers and get off. I don't see reptiles gentrifying neighborhoods. There's white supremacy. And we gotta stop falling for the hot potato trick that the white supremacists throw at us. Because see, we got to be very clear about what white supremacy is. Now, all white people are not white supremacists. Let's be very clear. I don't believe all white people are racist. But the white supremacists are the most dominant white people there are, and we have a problem with them. And the non-white supremacists have not done anything about them.